welcome to another episode of Downloads from Sirius. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring Adronis through, and he'll be touching on some specific topics today, mainly related to frequency, vibration, communication through frequency. So there'll be a lot of great insight being brought forward through Adronis. As I'll bring him in now, and we'll get started. We are here at this time, and we bid you greetings and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis from Sirius, sending love and appreciation to all who are tuning in to this broadcast being brought forward through your internet collective consciousness. So we thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction. How may we be of assistance today? Adronis, I want to find out more information in regards to the communication through frequency, looking more into vibration and many different archetypes, I guess I could say, relating to how frequency itself, vibration itself, is communicative and openly understood through the natural ability of access that every human being really could tap into and understand a different type of communication. Can you elaborate more on this? We will attempt to bring forward a certain insight relating to this idea. The whole idea is that, shall we say, telepathy really is the most common language amongst your people. The whole idea is that many different beings across your planet, whether it be, shall we say, your plants, your animals, human beings themselves, are all naturally telepathic. Your Earth herself is naturally telepathic. You are all able to, shall we say, communicate harmoniously with her. The whole idea here is that there are, shall we say, other imposing frequencies that are basically causing the idea of white noise. The whole idea here is that as you begin to communicate more with yourself, communicate more with your environment, and you are able to, shall we say, sniff out some of these particular imposing frequencies that are more so, shall we say, synthetically created, then basically what you are doing is you are overcoming a barrier. You are moving past the degree of feeling that vibration is not in the idea of something that is alien or foreign to you, or something that you will not understand. That all different bands of electromagnetic frequency all communicate in their own degrees of language. So the whole idea here is that it all depends precisely as what your body is attuned to in regards to receiving the broadcast, the transmission, based upon all other bands of vibration, all other bands of frequency, all other bands of energy that you have decided to function as a translator. So really, when you decide to study a new language and you become very proficient at it, you are, in that sense, in a point of focus of realizing that that language is now becoming second nature to you. It is the same with anything else pertaining to frequency. There are those individuals upon your planet who are naturally telepathic, who are able to basically look at a person and know exactly what they're thinking. They are able to precisely look more into their own akasha, shall we say, and being able to understand more of the understanding and causality of their life, as well as other lives they may have had. So the whole idea here is that all you're really doing is becoming a fine-tuned resonator of thought energy. There are also other particular bands that you are able to communicate with. There is the whole idea of the ultraviolet spectrum, communicating through the rays of the sun. Now understand that there are certain beings existing beyond your world that are actually able to portray certain forms of coded transmissions based upon bouncing off light rays that are already, shall we say, tangentially touching other particular forms of physicality. And so basically utilizing these light rays, synchronizing them and placing them together through singularity. These particular beings are able to instantaneously provide more advanced forms of mathematical transmission equations, as well as coded transmissions pertaining to any point in space, not only to, shall we say, another sentient being, of which you would understand her third or fourth density, but in that sense, other particular forms of matter, other particular forms of energy, and other particular forms of consciousness. So again, it all depends precisely on what one is attuned to in their understanding. If you are not able to learn how to swim, then the chances are you're not really going to be spending a lot of time in the water. You really want to be able to understand more of what you are capable of as a species, but also what you are completely aware of and able to perform based upon a translation device, because that's really what you all are. As we have stated in the past, that you're all walking broadcasting towers. So there are particular beings in that sense who are, again, adept at telepathy. There are other particular beings who are in that sense adept at communicating with animals very proficiently. There are other beings who are able to provide healing to plants and to environments. There are other beings in that sense who are able to communicate naturally with water, for water itself holds a degree of consciousness. There are those beings in that sense who are highly sensitive to magnetic fields, and these magnetic fields can fluctuate in regards to many degrees. You refer to these beings as dowsers. So the whole idea here is that all of this is transformable based upon what one feels they are able to attune themselves to, relating to healing, relating to communication, relating to, shall we say, nurturing of life, pertaining to forming equilibrium and bringing more natural balance into their own, shall we say, structures of environment. There really is no limit to what all of you are capable of doing. Is there something more that you wish to communicate on this? Thank you. I believe one of the common topics may be about utilizing the form of vibration and frequency to heal. Many people, again, having many different diseases, illnesses, and feeling that frequency itself can be the catalyst to bring forward a great deal of healing arrangements relating to this. Is there a particular form of method or exercise that you can recommend for those who wish to utilize the power of frequency, so to speak, to assist in the rejuvenation of their body? Yes, we thank you very much for your inquiry. The whole idea here is that really frequency is all there is. There really is nothing else in the universe other than vibration and frequency. So basically what you're doing is you're tuning into the symphony of what your body is broadcasting in regards to its natural, shall we say, vibrational nature. So basically, for those who wish to, in that sense, understand more of how frequency can be brought into the body, it's more so in the idea of attempting to understand the dance, the music, the symphony of what all the organs are basically producing. You are discovering this much within your own life machines. You are discovering this in regards to those who are, again, sensitive to magnetic fields, but are also, in that sense, able to interpret magnetic fields often just the same as interpreting your own music, interpreting your own symphonies. And so all it simply represents is finally attuning in, shall we say, natural form, your own body in regards to specific organs, in regards to certain forms of systems that in that sense facilitate your body, and being able to synchronize in harmony that which you are able to convey and understand based upon magnetic duplication or sound duplication to actually replenish that organ together. You are able to do this in regards to many different means. Again, those who are dowsing are able to utilize the pendulum and being able to determine through the pendulum the amount of spin that is generated through the pendulum and being able to duplicate that in the opposite direction pertaining to, shall we say, a reverse polarity flux. Through that reverse polarity flux, the magnetism itself becomes initiated back into its purity. So what you are basically looking for is the idea of healthy organs through yourself, and for those who in that sense represent distortion pertaining to organs that are looking for repair, you are able to again reverse the polarity in regards to that adjunct state of illness or ailment and then transferring it back into a natural degree, simply through the fluctuation of spin, through the fluctuation of vibration, through the fluctuation of magnetics. So again, all of you have your own interpretations of how you wish to bring this about. There are those, again, understand that are able to duplicate the energy of water. And by not even having any water present, you are actually able to utilize the fundamental magnetic healing property of water through the idea of something like dowsing. through the idea of, shall we say, utilizing the pendulum in regards to the code sequences of what the vibration represents to actually induce that upon the body in regards to a healing frequency, rather than feeling that you need to use water itself. So the whole idea is that you are actually able to contain frequency, the property itself of the vibration that then creates the manifested mechanic relating to water or relating to any other element. So again, that's the property. The vibration itself, the sound, the symphony of all that exists on your planet, of all that exists within this universe, is all part of the property induced by thought, combined together with vibration to then propagate that particular form of matter, that particular type of element, that particular type of material that then becomes so upon your planet. That's the key. So some of you are able to do this. Some of you still may need some more work, but it is possible for really all of you to achieve this. It's about speaking vibrational language. It's about understanding exactly how you interpret the magnetics of water, the magnetics of your elements, the magnetics of your body, in regards to all forms that it can be expressed in representation and relationship to you. Some of you may be able to even draw symbols that represent the idea of the purity of the frequency of water, or the purity of the frequency of your own kidneys, or the purity of the frequency of your own lungs, etc. All these just hold particular properties. You are able to discover this more and more through what you would know as your own water crystal experiments. That through the idea of purity forms solid geometry. Geometry quite beautiful. Geometry that looks very similar to, as you would understand, as your own, shall we say, stained glass windows of beauty upon you find in many ancient churches. So again, these are all, shall we say, beautiful mandalas of nature that you will find commonly. Again, all that requires of you is being able to find out how you personally interpret this information, how you personally interpret the degree of vibration. Now, everybody else will have their own interpretation. It may not work for you. You have to decide precisely what you feel is the communicative practice in regards to you understanding the nature of frequency and the nature of energy and the nature of vibration. But you are all capable of achieving this. We thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis from Sirius, and please remember that everything shared in regards to this particular broadcast today is simply that of our perspective, our point of view. For all knowledge, all information, all creation itself resides within your very heart, being, and soul. Thank you again, very well for this timing, and we now return to the conduit. We will speak to you again in the moment. Goodbye for now. Alright, thank you very much. And again, feel free to check out consciousmatrix.com for private sessions with Adronis, as well as a lot of training, exercises and training classes that are now available. Lots of great products, and of course, a lot of free stuff, a lot of great videos and MP3 guided meditations. Feel free to check it out, consciousmatrix.com. Thank you very much for viewing, and looking forward to speaking to you again. Take care. Namaste. And may it be well with you.